John Tyler, the 10th President of the United States, is remembered for his controversial and unique ascent to the presidency, as well as for his steadfast commitment to principles of states' rights. His presidency from 1841 to 1845 is marked by his unexpected succession to the office following the death of William Henry Harrison and his difficult relationship with Congress. John Tyler was born on March 29, 1790, in Charles City County, Virginia, into a prominent Virginian family. His father, John Tyler Sr., was a distinguished governor of Virginia, and his mother, Mary Ball, was from a well-regarded family. Tyler attended the College of William and Mary at the age of 12, where he excelled academically and graduated in 1807 at 17. He studied law under the tutelage of his father's friend, Edmund Randolph, a former U.S. Attorney General. Tyler was admitted to the bar in 1809, and his early legal career led him into Virginia's political arena. Tyler entered politics in 1811 as a member of the Virginia House of Delegates, and his early career reflected his strong advocacy for states' rights and limited federal government. He was later elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1816, where he served until 1821. His political views, while still firmly rooted in a commitment to republicanism, were evolving as the nation grappled with issues like the Bank of the United States and the power of the federal government. After his time in the House, Tyler moved to the U.S. Senate in 1827. During his time in Washington, Tyler became a staunch critic of Andrew Jackson's policies, especially the expansion of executive power. Though he had been a member of the Democratic-Republican Party, Tyler grew increasingly dissatisfied with Jackson's presidency, particularly the president's handling of the national bank issue. In 1836, Tyler resigned from the Senate in protest of President Jackson's actions and returned to Virginia. In 1825, he had been elected governor of Virginia, but he stepped down due to the state's one-year term limit. Tyler resumed his position as a former governor and once again advocated for states' rights in the context of Virginia's state legislature. His commitment to the South's traditional way of life, including slavery, won him the loyalty of the state's political elite. In 1840, Tyler's political career took a surprising turn when he was selected as the vice presidential running mate for the Whig Party's candidate, William Henry Harrison. The Whigs, seeking to defeat incumbent President Martin Van Buren, saw Tyler as a strategic pick, someone who could appeal to Southern voters while also balancing Harrison's image as a military hero. Tyler had little in common with Harrison ideologically, but the Whigs believed that his presence on the ticket would bolster their chances. Tyler and Harrison won the election, but their victory was short-lived. Harrison was inaugurated on March 4, 1841, but just 31 days into his presidency, he died from an acute illness, possibly pneumonia, or a cold contracted during the inauguration. Tyler, as vice president, assumed the presidency on April 4, 1841, at the age of 51, becoming the first president to succeed to office due to the death of his predecessor. Tyler's succession to the presidency was met with skepticism. The Whigs, who had only reluctantly accepted him as their vice presidential candidate, initially questioned whether he was truly the president. Some Whigs wanted to treat him as a caretaker, while others thought he might be replaced. However, Tyler made it clear that he would assume full presidential authority. He made the point that the Constitution's clear language of presidential succession meant that he was the legitimate president, and he refused to be treated as a mere placeholder. During his presidency, Tyler faced challenges in working with Congress, especially with the Whigs, who controlled both houses. Tyler's firm belief in limited government and his veto of major Whig-sponsored legislation, including bills to recharter the Bank of the United States, alienated him from his party. His vetoes, particularly of the bank bill, led to a confrontation with Congress, and Tyler became the first president in U.S. history to have his veto overridden. Despite these conflicts, Tyler made several important contributions during his presidency. One of his most significant achievements was the annexation of Texas. Tyler, motivated by both his desire to expand the United States and his pro-slavery stance, supported the annexation of Texas, which had declared its independence from Mexico in 1836. After several years of failed negotiations, Tyler successfully pushed through a joint resolution for annexation in 1845, just before he left office. This move would have long-lasting consequences, contributing to the outbreak of the Mexican-American War. Tyler also supported the establishment of the Treaty of Wanghia with China, which opened trade relations between the two nations, and the Webster-Ashburton Treaty with Great Britain, which resolved border disputes in the northeastern United States and solidified the relationship between the U.S. and Britain. After leaving office in 1845, Tyler returned to Virginia. He remained politically active, aligning himself with the pro-slavery South in the years leading up to the Civil War. In 1861, Tyler was elected to the Confederate Congress, but he did not live to see the Confederate States of America's eventual defeat. He died on January 18, 1862, at the age of 71. Tyler's legacy is one of both controversy and accomplishment. He is often viewed as a man who stood firm in his beliefs, regardless of party pressure. While his actions, particularly his annexation of Texas and his vetoes of Whig policies, made him a polarizing figure, he is nonetheless credited with preserving the Union during a time of political turmoil and setting important precedents in the presidential line of succession. Tyler remains one of the least remembered U.S. presidents, overshadowed by his successors and often criticized for his inability to bridge party divides. Yet his role in the expansion of the United States and his insistence on upholding the Constitution in the face of political opposition make him a notable figure in the nation's history.